Welcome to 123 DB Clean. In this presentation, we're going to show you how to use this product in order to clean ACT history databases. Over time, the history database in ACT tends to get overpopulated with a lot of useless as well as useful information. The purpose of this program is to provide a very easy and quick way of cleaning these databases. So before we start with a full-fledged demo on this product, let's just look a little bit into the philosophy of the interface. Let's click on the history by user. And this product basically lists all the users on the left. And then if I enable this user and I click on Analyze, it will show the history items for this particular user. So for Alison Mikola, we get the history items. Let's see what we can do with what is displayed. The philosophy of the product is all the actions that are taken on the buttons on the right, where the action items, are taken onto the listed items on the list. So for example, if we sort by name, we click by regarding, we click on the regarding button, and we can see that it gets sorted alphabetically in descending order on the regarding field. For example, we have 3 lunch meetings here, and we want to only act on these 3 lunch meetings. We can right click and just say, okay, show only selected. So by doing this, we filter down to only these people that are listed. And so anything we do on the buttons on the right are only affect these 3 items on the meetings. So if we want to list everything again, we just click on Analyze All. So that's one way of actually filtering what you want to do quite easily. So let's do something else. So look at the sales training here. So we can select that and we can say remove these selected items. So we don't want to delete sales training, so we can say remove that from the list. So we can actually select something and just remove to the list and then act on everything else on the list. So that's another way of doing it. And the third part is we can actually select a list of items, and if you right click on that, we can delete just the selected items. So we don't have to act on all the items, we can just delete those selected items. So it's a very easy way of actually filtering the items the way you want. In some instances, you'll have a date filtering system that you can use. So you can enable it and then just select a date that you want. And that basically will select all history items that happened before this particular date, if this is enabled. So now that the basic interface functionality is out of the way, let's just look at what this great product can do. You can click on a duplicate history items, and in the interactive way of doing it, you'll see the users listed on the left. You can select just Allison and do an analyze on Allison, see if there's any duplicates. In this case, there's no duplicates. Or you can select Chris Huffman and see if there's any duplicate for Chris Huffman, and yes, there are duplicates. And the duplicates that are listed are the duplicates, are not the original. So if you delete the duplicates, you do not delete the original. So at the same way, you can select whether you want to show only the selected, remove the selected from list, or delete the history items, just the ones that are selected. The same way as on the other interfaces that we have. One neat part, if you don't want to do one by one, you can go into the contact name. If you click on the list, on the columns, it will check mark everybody on your database, and you can analyze everybody on the database very quickly and see who has duplicates. And you can look on the record manager column on the right and see who has duplicates. In this case, mostly is Chris Huffman, and then here we have Alison Mikola that has duplicates as well. So you can then just select and say delete it. If you click delete it here, all the duplicates will be deleted from the product. From the ACT database. So let's now go to the history by type. And this is the point of this function, is to very quickly just remove record keeping records from your history that are no longer useful or that you no longer want. You log in, it's logged in as the admin, and it gives you a list of all the history, different types that are defined for the ACT database. You can click on the count types, and what it will do, it will analyze how many of those particular items exist on the ACT database. One of the things we've seen, for example, here we have contacts linked. We don't want to keep that beyond the first or second week, as far as we know. It's done, and it's just a history keeping. You can select that, and then select contacts deleted. Oh, we don't want to keep that. And then by doing this, now by just clicking on the delete select deleted or delete selected, it will delete those two types of history items from your ACT database. So what we've seen in some cases in the larger databases, we've seen about 15 to 20,000 records that are totally useless that you can actually clean up from your ACT database without any for major performance improvements in ACT. History by user. This is probably one of the most interesting ones that we have. And here, as we've seen right at the beginning, you can actually analyze a history by a particular user and just click on show. You can enable a filter, and then you can see the record manager, and then by using the transfer, you can transfer this history and change the record manager to be like Chris Huffman or any other history or any other user that exists in ACT. Click on transfer, and then it gets transferred for that particular user. The nice part about this, like on all the other ones, if you click on the contact name column, all the users are selected, and you can analyze all the users. And then you can sort, and you can see how to deal with all the history items in ACT and how to manage them. And you can just sort it alphabetically. Oh, these are just test records. You can right click and just delete this particular test records because they're nothing, or just delete the empty history items that you have on your ACT database because those items don't have anything in there. You can also see that the contact is listed on the columns here to whom that history item belongs to. Last but not least is our history by regarding field. In this item, you can like the other ones, you can just do a single one or everybody, and you can say, oh, which empty history items do we have on all the contacts belong to everyone. So we have 3 history items, empty ones that belong to Betty Browser, and you can go here and then just delete them and select to remove them from ACT, or just do whatever you wanted to do. You can look for a particular string on a history item on the regarding field, like @ on here, and that will list all the items for all the used record managers that have that particular history item. You can list it, and then you can also select it and then delete those items if you want to, or just remove, you don't want to do anything with it, and delete everything else. So there's some very powerful ways to filter the history items. The nice part here too is that we do also provide a little filtering, so you can filter any history items before a particular date. So if you have an aging mechanism that you want established, this is a good way to do it. But not the nice part is by using the regarding, you making it easier to maintain the database, instead of just blindfoldedly, like ACT does, remove history items before the particular date, so you lose really important history, which you shouldn't be doing it. This concludes our brief presentation on the ACT Contact Histories Cleaner for 123DB Clean. As a final reminder, always make a backup of ACT before you clean it. Just in case you delete something you don't want it to delete, just make a backup just to be safe. Other than that, use our product. It's a good product and it'll save you hours and hours of maintenance. And it will increase your performance and make everybody happy. Have a good day. Bye.